It takes 5.5 days to walk from Okie Dokie, Texas, my hometown, to Creepy Crawly, Louisiana. Especially when you're following a man in a cloud. Well, I'd planned to just pass on through Creepy Crawly, Louisiana like I passed on through every other little town I came to that day. But there was something different about this little town. First off, everybody, and I mean everybody, was piled into a tiny little beauty parlor in the center of town. Little place called the Beautiful Bouffant. Well, when I saw this, my curiosity got the better of me. I found myself slap dab in the middle of all these people. I said, "Excuse me, could somebody please tell me what's going on here?" Well, you could have heard a pin drop. And then everybody started talking, and they talked, and they talked, till I thought my ears were just going to drop off. I did. Well, what follows is a sort of Reader's Digest condensed version of the many stories I heard that day. Turns out that 3 little old ladies had just committed suicide together in Creepy Crawly, Louisiana. Their names were Melba, Agnes, and Joy Bell. And they were what people called a little different. You see, they lived together in a tiny little pink houseboat down on the swamp. They all dressed alike, all of them in different shades of pink, all of them with perfectly round little blue-white hairdos. One little boy even said he knew for a fact that the little ladies didn't wear no underwears under their dresses because he saw one of them when she was waiting for a bus. Well, tell me what that means, I don't know. Anyways, the 3 little old ladies were the owners and operators of the Beautiful Bouffant, except that Ozell Parker holds the lease to the building. Now, I probably ought to say a little something about Ozell Parker here. Her late husband, Bo Parker, owned most of the property in Creepy Crawly, Louisiana. But now that he's dead, Ozell Parker does. And everywhere that Ozell Parker goes, a kind of frenzy follows after her. It's like she thinks of herself as the queen of the creepy crawlers. So, well, that's what people are called in Creepy Crawly, Louisiana, creepy crawlers. Anyway, no one's ever disputed her on that fact. So, anyways, back to the story. The Beautiful Bouffant was as popular as it could be, till the one day when Ozell Parker went in right before closing time and demanded a complete makeover for her son Bo Parker Jr.'s wedding the next day. Well, without the slightest complaint, the 3 little old ladies got busy, and they worked well into the evening. Melba was doing a manicure, while both Agnes and Joy Bell were working on the biggest, most beautiful bouffant hairdo in Creepy Crawly, Louisiana history. It was so big, in fact, that Agnes had to spray 2 cans of hairspray around the base just for support. And Joy Bell was up on one of those little step ladders so she could reach the top to round it off. And she let out a sneeze that sent her toppling from the top of the step ladder onto Melba. And when she did this, Melba's little manicure and doom and flicky jabbed into the end of one of Ozell Parker's fingers, which made Ozell Parker jump and scream. And when she did this, a clump of her hair came out in Agnes's hand. A rather large clump right there at the base. right there at the scalp. Well, anyways, after a moment of stunned silence, Joy Bell looked up at Ozell Parker and apologized. But Ozell Parker just glared down at her in that way that she has. And this made Joy Bell laugh. And that made Melba and Agnes laugh. And they couldn't stop laughing. Well, Ozell Parker just stormed out of the beautiful bouffant, her big old hairdo flapping in the wind behind her. And she ended up wearing a veil to her son's wedding the next day. But the straw that broke the camel's back was the fact that Bo Parker Jr.'s intended bride never even showed up for the wedding. And it was no secret that she disappeared with another woman. Well, Ozell Parker was so embarrassed and so angered by this that she turned her rage onto the only people she could think of, the three little old ladies. She went door to door telling all the other creepy crawlers that these three little old ladies were three little old ladies that Creepy Crawly, Louisiana could do better without. Shortly thereafter, the beautiful bouffant closed down because nobody dared go there. And in fact, the three little old ladies found that the only place they could be without being jeered at was on their tiny little pink houseboat. And that's where they stayed till they ended their lives. This song is dedicated to those courageous three little old ladies. Hit it! One little old lady waiting for a bus, standing on the corner, blue-white hair. She got a secret, not gonna tell us. Under her dress she has no underwear. Why do you think three little old ladies would be taken to something like that? Two little old ladies sitting in a circle, facing each other, smiles on their faces. Nobody say a word, that's just a gurgle. Somebody's mother touching private places. Why do you think three little old ladies would be taken to something like that? Why do you think three little old ladies would be taken to something like that? Hey. Three little old ladies dying together, all their names signed, bottom of a note. To whom it may concern, we would rather live in hell than on a prison boat. Why do you think three little old ladies would be taken to something like that? Why do you think